Semifinal on ESPN in a matchup of the last two America East champions. The number 1 seed Vermont Catamounts hosting 2016 champion and 5 seed Stony Brook. Alistair Ingram and Bernie Saplicki here with you at Patrick Gym for the America East semifinal. And Bernie, here's how we got here. UVM with a 15-point win against Maine here on Saturday, and Stony Brook upsetting a 3-time previous champ in Albany on the road to get here to Burlington.
Yes, Stony Brook giving the only surprise in the first round with a 9-point win down in Albany, a game that they just went in and took it to the Great Danes and gives them a chance to play the Catamounts here tonight.
And UVM will bring a 4-game winning streak into the semifinals after a fairly convincing performance against Maine on Saturday. The Black Bears, Bernie, gave the Cats all they could handle in the first half with some big-time shots from veteran players in the second half.
Yes, the seniors led the way. The Vermont did not shoot the ball very well, but Ernie Duncan with three-pointers in the second half, very timely, that took care of business. Traybell Haynes, Peyton Henson with 21 points apiece. Drew Urquhart, 10 points, 12 rebounds. The seniors on a mission to get career win number 99 this evening.
And for Stony Brook, an impressive win on the road, getting their toughness and defense back according to their head coach, and never trailed in a 9-point win.
Leading wire to wire down in Albany, a tough task to do. Stony Brook now has beaten everybody in the America East except for Vermont this season, something they want to build upon here tonight and get to the championship on Saturday morning.
Led by Akwazi Yaboa in that game was Stony Brook with a team-high 18, including this dagger 3 in the second half. It'll be UVM Stony Brook for the 6th time in America East playoff history. There's Jeff Bowles in his 2nd season, took over before last season, coming off a championship caliber campaign. And again, he feels as though his team is getting its identity back at the right time.
And, you know, finding the blend of youth and veterans, just really doing a nice job. And here, ready to play in the semifinal matchup.
And you're looking at America East Co-Coach of the Year, John Becker, a 3-time America East Coach of the Year, looking to get back to his 3rd consecutive title game.
I mean, what more can be said about what John Becker has done in terms of taking the baton from Tom Brennan and Mike Lonergan and bringing this program to another level of excellence, just something that he should be very proud of and this group should be very proud of, but still more work to be done this season.
Well, UVM has won 4 straight against Stony Brook, but some sour memories, Bernie, in the postseason 2 years ago. The current seniors were sophomores, ended their season on Long Island, and as freshmen in 2015, losing in the same semifinal round in comeback fashion to Stony Brook.
Plenty of motivation for this group to, not take this team for granted, because they are ready to relinquish some of those tough memories.
Catamounts will be in the gold here tonight, the number 1 seed. Stony Brook, the 5 seed in red. Deflected pass out to the far wing. Diving play by Oshefu to save it. And the Seawolves have their first possession.
And you talk about the toughness right there and the identity on the floor, loose balls, those little things win championships.
Anthony Oshefu, the diving play, has started 8 of the last 9 games for Stony Brook. That's an offensive foul, though, on the conference's Rookie of the Year, Elijah Olaniyi.
Elijah Olaniyi inside against Traybell Haynes, the Rookie of the Year against the Player of the Year. Very important tonight for the Catamounts that Traybell Haynes does not get in foul trouble early. When the Catamounts kind of sputtered in the middle of the season, he found himself in foul trouble.
It is an electric atmosphere on this Tuesday in Catamount Country. Sellout crowd as the Cats try to make their 3rd consecutive America East title game. Urquhart hands off to his classmate Traybell Haynes, diving down the lane, up fakes and can't finish. Rebound on the baseline to Olaniyi. Bounces inside, finds Oshefu who flushes.
Easy layup inside, good defense, limiting the Catamounts to 1 opportunity. Oshefu getting to the rim, catching, going up for the flush in the finish, 2-0 Seawolves.
Oshefu's brother, Daniel, member of the 2016 National Championship team at Villanova. And now defending on Urquhart down low, stripped from behind by Junior Saintel.
Yeah, just the turnovers, that was a key. Vermont turning the ball over, not being strong with the ball. Stony Brook coming out with a lot of energy.
Here's Yaboa's first attempt. Off to the right, offensive board for Olaniyi. Akwazi Yaboa tries his luck again, same result, off to the right.
Vermont wants to pick up the tempo a little bit. Obviously not having much success in the half-court set. Got to get the going in transition to get easy shots or trail three-point opportunities. Shot clock situation.
Only 2 seconds came off, so they'll reset that. The 2 words that Jeff Bowles used for his squad Saturday winning at Albany were defense and toughness. And that's the way this team has to win. They don't have the offensive firepower of Vermont, but if they can out-tough teams, out-rebound them, very athletic and big, that's the way they're going to make this title game.
Well, and you know, a couple of things looking at that. Stony Brook lost to Albany earlier in the season, you know, when Stony Brook was again trying to reestablish their identity. They played them once on January 10th, and then they played them on January 27th. So they had a whole month. And, you know, Stony Brook really improved. And anytime you go into Albany and you can lead wire to wire and win convincingly as they did, that just shows toughness. Not physical toughness, but also the mental toughness of we're not going to back down, we're going to keep going, and we're going to battle. And that's what they did the other night.
Last time Stony Brook was the 5 seed in the tournament, but they still look at the here. Sewell was able to defeat both Albany and Vermont that year. 2 years ago, a back-and-forth affair in the America East title game. Jameel Warney had 43, and UVM, Bernie, since that game, they rebounded, had to spend a year hearing about that title game and blowing a large lead. They've lost 1 game against America East opponents since that contest.
Yeah, that in and of itself, when you sit back and think about it and reflect, that's amazing. You lose that championship game to which you had a nice lead in, and you have to sit there and stew over it. You run the table the next season, win 19 in a row, and here you are now at 16-1. So just amazing for what they've done.
And more hardware this year for a number of Catamounts. Back-to-back Player of the Year awards for Trey Bell Haynes, the 3rd Catamount to do that. Back-to-back America East Coach of the Year honors for John Becker, sharing it with John Gallagher of Hartford this year. And also the 2nd Sixth Man of the Year award for Cam Ward after winning that honor as a rookie. He's the first guy in conference history to win 2 of those awards.
Yeah, just again, what is on the screen right now with Trey Bell Haynes winning 2, John Becker has a plethora in his trophy case, and Cam Ward doing it twice. Just talks about how good these kids are, how tough they are, and accepting of their roles.
Catamounts also having a number of players on the all-conference teams. Ernie Duncan, Drew Urquhart made the 2nd team. Ernie Duncan also a member of the all-defensive team and well-deserved. And Peyton Henson's 2nd consecutive nod on the all-conference 3rd team. Officials have checked the clock, syncing up the game and shot clocks, and ready to get back underway in just a second here with a 2-0 Stony Brook lead. Catamounts Bernie have won 4 consecutive games against Stony Brook since that title game defeat, winning fairly convincingly both times this season.
Yeah, just again, Vermont taking care of business, the leadership and the older kids just having an understanding, but we'll see if that's the case here this evening.
Here's Urquhart, the senior, first career all-conference nod this season. Baby hook, can't get it to go.
Nice move right there. Stony Brook electing not to double down and leave the shooters. Urquhart, point blank, a shot he's made numerous times this season to earn those all-conference accolades. Just a little strong.
Offensive foul against Stony Brook. That'll be on Oshefu, the 2nd foul on the Seawolves.
That's his first. And again, both of these fouls away from the basketball that has occurred, just trying to jockey for position and clearing space.
Oshefu has been a factor in the starting lineup of late for Stony Brook, but only plays 8 minutes a game. Catamounts in the motion offense with 15 seconds to shoot, trying to get on the board here in the America East semifinal, 2.5 minutes in. Bell Haynes, the back-to-back conference player of the year. Kept his pivot, bounces baseline for Henson.
Tremendous patience once again by Trey Bell Haynes, getting into the lane, establishing himself, maybe shuffled the feet a little bit, but found the cutting Henson for the 2, and we're tied.
Henson tied a career high with 21 against Maine in the quarterfinal win on Saturday. 9 of 15 from the field, and now defending on Akwazi Yeboah. who averages 15 points a game to match his jersey number. Spins to the block, up fakes, and can't get it to go.
And right there, just again, good patience. As Drew Urquhart was established, set a screen, the guy ran into him, but the charge was called.
First foul on Vermont to the clean-shaven Drew Urquhart for the semifinal. A member of that class of 2018, Bernie, that's 2 wins shy of 100.
Yeah, that's just incredible to even talk about, to have the kind of success that they've had.
Winningest class in school history by 2 wins over the class of 2012, which also won an America East championship. Jordan McKenzie has become the starting point guard the last month or so for the Seawolves. St. 7 to shoot, pull up long 2. Off the back heel, and Henson his second straight rebound.
Tremendous defense by both sides right here. A long contested 2, limiting to 1 shot, and everybody getting back in transition as Traybell Haynes comes a little long right there. Little lid on the basket right now for both these squads.
And Bell Haynes went 3 for 4 from 3 on Saturday. 4 points total, 4 minutes in. Defensive battle in the semis so far. St. will drive against Everett. Duncan floats with the right. May have been altered by Urquhart, and the senior grabs the board.
Just again, tremendous defense by both teams. Good blockouts. Just you can tell teams that have studied each other. They're very familiar with each other. They understand what they're doing, and no breakdowns yet defensively.
Duncan to the 10 for 2. Catamounts their first lead.
And that right there is going to be so huge. Ernie Duncan, what's the first thing you think of? Catch and shoot, then some defense. Now if he's getting to the rim and gets to soften up the defense, that'll be a big plus for the Catamounts, who take their first lead of the evening.
Ernie Duncan, one of the most recent 1,000-point scorers in UVM history, number 37. He was joined by Peyton Henson down at Stony Brook at number 38. Step back 3 goes down, and that's Alanier, the Rookie of the Year.
Need more be said right there. Alanier, the big 3, might have been hit right there. Just pulling up Everett Duncan, good D, but he gets the triple.
And Urquhart goes right to the basket, and he'll get free throws when we come back to a low-scoring, tightly contested America East semifinal. It is Stony Brook 5 and UVM 4. Winner moves on to the title game this coming Saturday. 5 minutes gone by, no love lost, and not a ton of room offensively.
I don't think you can overstate how big of an advantage it is to be playing a championship game in front of your home crowd.
Standing room only, and just at the end, like having everybody rush the court, it's like a surreal feeling.
Obviously that shot, has been a big part of this program's history, and they did a lot of winning here, and that's why I came here. We had that opportunity, just got to take it.
Just to go out as a winner.
Cut down the nets at home. Win at home, win it all.
Our house rules.
Our house rules.
Our house rules.
Well, offense, tough to come by early on, a matchup of the last 2 America East tournament champions, but Ernie Duncan usually known for his three-point shooting, attacking the basket, and we get a tight one early.
Yes, with everybody pushing out on Duncan, one of the best three-point shooters in UVM history. His ability to, again, soften up that defense and get to the rim and finish is going to be important, as, Vermont 3 turnovers in that first 5 minutes, while Stony Brook had 2.
To Urquhart to the foul line, where he has excelled of late. Knocks down the first to tie it up. Cam Ward is in the game for the Catamounts, and reigning Rookie of the Year from last season, Anthony Lamb, waiting to check in. Next available stoppage. Urquhart 1 of 2, Henson the offensive rebound, some contact but no whistle.
Great effort by Urquhart right there to try to keep that ball alive. Had a point blank opportunity but just a little strong. Game tied at 5.
UC Iribu into the game for Stony Brook, the senior. Along with the Quasi Yeboah, St. Tel on the block against Everett Duncan, baby hook and way off the mark. Nothing coming easy for either team.
No, just again, the familiarity of both teams, the understanding, the scouting report of each other, knowing strengths and weaknesses, just everybody following the game plan to a T, which is causing offense to sputter.
Catamount scored 73 and 69 points in the 2 regular season meetings, both victories. Urquhart using the window. Tyrell Sturdivant pulls down the board.
Once again, good defense, a point-blank look, good contest, a shot that comes up short. Both teams just, again, got to grind, just got to battle right now.
Obviously fantastic defense, but some jitters, you think, in this semifinal game, packed house?
You would hope not from Vermont, maybe from Stony Brook, but, I don't think so. Maybe I would say more so for Stony Brook coming into this venue than more so for Vermont, who has already done it.
The vast majority of this Catamount team going through the grinder last year to win the Americas Championship. Some of those same players understanding what it means to lose in the championship game to this same team back in 2016. Cam Ward with 3 seconds to shoot, fall away, rattles off.
A very frustrating sigh of moan from all the UVM faithful right there as that ball went 3/4 of the way down as the shot clock was about to expire. And again, we're still tied at 5.
McKenzie pops off the mark, Urquhart the rebound. Teams are combined 4 of 18 shooting so far.
Maybe at the under 12 timeout, Alistair, you can go out there and take the lids off this baskets, please. Make the game more exciting.
If you like low-scoring basketball in the playoffs, you got it, as Duncan knocks down the 10-footer.
And again, the dribble penetration of Ernie Duncan, getting to the baseline, getting deep to within the heart of the defense. The shot fake, the patience, the finish, the Cats lead by 2. Again, Duncan under duress by very good defense of Stony Brook.
For UVM 7 for Ernie Duncan, the newest 1,000-point scorer. Yeboah kept his footwork. Fans wanted to walk, but it's UVM basketball as Bell, Haynes, and Lamb wait to check in along with 3 Seawolves. Senior to senior handoff. Ward pulls up, knocks it down.
And that's getting into the teeth of the defense. Again, good dribble handoff by Urquhart. The 6th man of the year, Ward pulls up from 15, gets it to go. Vermont up by 4.
Only player in conference history to win the 6th Man of the Year award twice. Cam Ward did so as a freshman and now as a senior. Bounce to the baseline and Urquhart makes some contact. That is 2 on the second team all-conference center.
Stony Brook staying within themselves, drawing that foul, but there's Cam Ward.
Big defensive basketball in this Americas semifinal. Drew Urquhart with 2 early fouls, the all-conference second team selection. The Cats going to the bench. And Anthony Lamb wearing number 3, his 3rd game back from a lengthy absence with a fractured foot.
Yes, and what a luxury that you have now if you're Vermont. Urquhart probably going to have to spend the rest of the half on the bench with 11:39, and you get to bring in Anthony Lamb, who just, with each game getting better and better, and with each practice getting his legs underneath him, getting his conditioning better. Just going to be interested to see, does he take off here tonight?
11 minutes each of his first 2 games back, both against Maine. We'll see if that number creeps closer to 20 tonight.
You would think so. Now as we're really getting into it, as it's winter, no NCAA. You would think that they're going to go to Lamb a little more.
Lamb bursting onto the scene last season, winning Rookie of the Year. Iribu pops a long 3 off to the right, and Lamb, at the time of his injury, averaging more than 16 points a game as a reaching foul goes on Alani, this year's Rookie of the Year, and that's 2 on him.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. We'll see if they're going to bring him to the bench now. There's 2 very key components to both teams out for the half, so the depth of both squads will be tested.
And these are two very deep teams.
Yes.
Vermont, I would say, has obviously a little bit more offensive talent on its bench, but Stony Brook likes to play 10, 11 bodies.
They do. They played 10 guys, against Albany. 9 of them were in double figures, and the 10th player had played 8 minutes. So it's just good stuff.
Reach around pass, Bell-Haynes to Lamb.
Good stuff for the Stony Brook, minutes last game, but really good stuff right there as Trey Bell-Haynes gets into the lane, drops it off. Anthony Lamb getting that layup, and always good to see that first one in tight go down.
7-0 UVM run. Open is Cornish, and he banks it in. Jason Cornish, the starting point guard the first half of the season, now coming off the bench.
Yeah, right there, just running their little high screen at the elbow. Cam Ward getting caught, and no help there, a rotation. The easy layup for Stony Brook.
Cam Ward triggers and hits.
The 6th man of the year hitting a triple right there. The silky smooth lefty gives the Catamounts 14-7 lead. He's got 5.
He shot 46% from 3 during conference play. Ernie Duncan went down for a few games, and he stepped up in a huge way.
He did, and, just really embracing the moment.
Sturdivant against Lamb, 2 big bodies off the back rim, and Lamb corrals the rebound. What a start it's been to his first home game in quite some time, minus the main game.
Yeah, just patience and energy.
Comes up just a little short on a corner 3 that could have brought the house down.
Yeah, again, a good look for him, a shot that he's made before, a little short, and now Vermont has to get back to what they've been doing very well, and that's defending and rebounding.
Stony Brook shooting 3 for 14 in the early going. 1 for 5 from long range. Elbow jump shot off the mark from Secunda.
And Stony Brook's getting good looks, but every one is contested, and they're not getting second chance opportunities.
Ward a long 3. Can't hit. He's feeling it.
Yeah, and you hit your last one, you got to let that fly, and you've made those before, just a little short. But again, no second chance opportunities, which is something that's been impressive by both of these teams.
And Sturdivant attacking the basket using that big frame against Lamb. Anthony's first, and free throws for the 6'7", 225 Tyrell Sturdivant. He and Junior Saintel almost clones. Just 2 big guys take up a lot of space, and they can be big factors in the paint.
Yes, and Sturdivant going off the bounce right there, maybe initiating the contact, but his first step getting by Lamb, and that'll get him to the foul line.
2 here for Sturdivant, 55% free throw shooter. Stony Brook as a team just under 66%. Near the bottom of the conference rankings. An unfriendly road roll for Tyrell Sturdivant as the Cats doubling up Stony Brook 14-7. 3 new UVM players back in. Duncan and Henson 2 starters, and Steph Smith off the bench.
Good line change for Vermont.
3/5 of a line change. It's very rare you see a full line change in basketball. It's like a triple crown year.
Okay.
And Sturdivant makes 1 of 2. It's 14-8 with 9 to go in the first half. First look today at Steph Smith, who played at the same high school, Bill Brothers Academy, as Trey Bell-Haynes, the back-to-back conference player of the year. Bell-Haynes coming off a 21-point game Saturday against Maine. Peyton Henson tied a career mark with 21 as well, as Henson gives the screen to Bell-Haynes, who's double-teamed, weaving through traffic and fouled. Little hesitation, able to look off the defense and draw contact.
Well, but that dribble hesitation freezes the defense. Is he going to throw it back out to Peyton Henson, who's really good with the pick and pop right there? The freeze, the defender leaves. Cornish has to foul, so he doesn't get the layup to make Trey Bell-Haynes earn it from the line for 2.
And Bell-Haynes, we were talking about him early in the season, really struggling from the free throw line. And over the last month or so, he's been almost automatic. He's up to 10th in the conference at 73%.
And you knew it was just going to be a matter of time before those numbers rose because of all the reps and the time he puts in. He knocks down both of those, and the Catamounts doubling up the Seawolves right now, 16-8.
His last 8 games, he's shooting almost 90% at the stripe. Feed to Brian Secundo is a three-point threat. Bounces inside for the big man, Jacob Petrus. Leans into Lamb, floats with the right, down it goes.
It's a nice move by Petrus right there. A couple of dribbles going across the lane with a sweeping hook. He gets it to go using his size, his height, a little bit advantage over Lamb to get the easy two.
6'11", 260, Petrus, originally from Slovakia. Gets his team back within 6. Under 8 to go in the first half. Lamb tries his luck from the corner. Back iron.
Draw kick right there. Lamb with a deep three. Trying to draw Petrus out there. Good look. Doesn't go down.
Cornish a little out of control and gives it up to Steph Smith. Catamounts in transition. Some contact, no whistle. Kick out for Duncan. Extra pass to Bell Haynes, and he travels. Crowd, UVM staff don't like the call.
And again, here's Petrus inside. Stony Brook trying to explore their size inside, hanging around. Down 6 with 7.5 to go.
Respect is hard work. Respect is dedication.
Respect is earned on the court or on the field.
Respect doesn't judge based on sexual orientation or gender identity.
Respect is being the first conference to partner with the You Can Play project.
And the first conference in the LGBT Sports Safe Founders Club.
Respect coaches, players, and the game.
Respect similarities.
Respect differences.
Spread respect.
Spread respect.
Spread respect.
Tough, powerful, versatile. It's a cat. Equipment you want, features you need, support you can trust. Now you can get a cat. Because for a limited time, Milton Cat is offering 0% financing for 60 months on most machines. Now you can at Milton Cat.
I don't think you can overstate how big of an advantage it is to be playing a championship game in front of your home crowd.
Standing room only, and just at the end, like having everybody rush the court, it's like a surreal feeling.
Obviously that shot, has been a big part of this program's history, and they did a lot of winning here, and that's why I came here. We had that opportunity, just got to take it.
Just to go out as a winner.
Cut down the nets at home. Win at home, win it all.
Our house rules.
Our house rules.
Our house rules.
16-10, UVM by 6. Just under 8 to go here in the tightly contested first half of the America East semifinal. Alistair Ingram and Bernie Saplicki back here with you. And the Catamounts, after a slow offensive start, are starting to find their range, but it's been UVM's defense so far that's led the way.
It has. Both teams in this low-scoring kind of, just a brawl right now in terms of energy and emotion. Stony Brook 4 of 16 for 25%. Vermont 6 of 15 for 40%. The thing that I find most impressive with all these misses, only 2 offensive rebounds, 1 for each team. So defense and blockouts, an emphasis to winning championships on display here in this semifinal matchup.
2 of the top 4 rebounding teams in the conference battling here tonight. Here's Yeboah's off to a quiet offensive start. Mid-left post, it's Petrus spinning to his right. Baby hook, no good.
Very good defense by Anthony Lamb right there. Petrus got one to go earlier. This time just a little further out, rolls off the iron.
Stony Brook is 4 for 17 shooting so far, just under 24%. Lob pass down to Lamb, tries the other side and draws contact. Jacob Petrus pleading his case, saying he went straight up, but Lamb will get free throws.
The slip right there versus the screen and roll. He goes to set that high screen, dives right away. Good delivery by Duncan. Lamb goes hard to the rim, gets the foul, gets to the line for 2. Catamounts 3 of 4 here early this evening.
Lamb, before he was injured, back before Christmas, 84% at the free throw line. Everett Duncan in to replace Steph Smith. Again, Lamb was averaging about 17 and 7 before the injury. Missed 16 games with a foot fracture. It's his 3rd game back here at home.
And Nate Rohrer come in for him. Lamb with 1 foul. You could see he was breathing a little heavy at the line, so you don't want him to pick up that cheap second foul. Get him a you probably get him a couple of minutes and then bring him back for the last stanza after the under 4 media timeout and try to manage his minutes accordingly.
8-point UVM lead. Rematch of the 2016 America East title game. Petrus backing down on Rohr this time. Picks up his dribble, finds McKenzie. 10 seconds to shoot. Saintel up fakes, leans in, can't hit.
Phenomenal defense right there by the Catamounts. You'll give up tough twos like that if they make them all day long. You want to give up those shots in between without fouling.
Ernie Duncan against McKenzie. Barrels down and comes up short. UVM is holding Stony Brook right now to 22% shooting. Offensive foul against McKenzie, and Jeff Bowles disagrees.
And that's a tough one right there. You extend the arm like that, like McKenzie did, that will probably more often than not a charge. But right now there's so much clutching, grabbing, clawing, scratching out there that, you could call something every time, and that's fine. If you are not going to call it, but you're going to have the coaches on you for every possession.
Deflected ball out of bounds into the Stony Brook bench. You see Jeff Bowles still working on the official. It's the kind of game in the semifinals and into the title game where if you're both coaches, I think you want to see the whistles put away to a certain extent.
Yes, I mean, there is, to a certain extent, but where you can't move or run your offense or do anything, then that's a problem.
Bell Haynes has to double clutch and it rolls off the rim. Petrus the rebound at 6'11".
And right there, Bell Haynes strong to the basket, a lot of contact, but they let it go because they've been letting that go. So we'll see if that continues. I think Coach Bowles' bigger question is it's 7-3 in fouls right now.
Yeboah drives, leans in on Henson, gets the block. Yeboah the putback, his first bucket of the night.
That's just a great effort by Yeboah. Gets the first one rejected, but stays with it, and that's the toughness that you talk about Stony Brook wants to have as he stays with it, gets the ball back, and finishes.
Another foul on Petrus away from the ball. That's his second.
Right here again, Yeboah. Strong to the basket, but quick off the floor the second time.
First basket for Yeboah in 6 field goal attempts. He averages 15 points a game. It'll be a 1-on-1 situation here for Nate Rohr as Petrus goes to the bench with 2 fouls, joining the Rookie of the Year, Elijah Olaniyi. Nate Rohr 13 for 20 at the foul line this season, make it 14-21.
Again, lots of balance for the Catamounts. Cam Ward leading the way with 5, and a lot of other Vermont players on the scoreboard. As this game is not for the faint of heart, as it's a physical battle right now with the Cats up 20-12.
And UVM 7 of 8 at the foul line so far. It's been one of the major strengths of this team all year long.
Well, it's going to have to be tonight because, the baskets, the made baskets and easy opportunities are few and far between.
Henson trying to draw the offensive foul. Yeboah and 1.
Good no call on the charge right there. Yeboah staying with it, the spin, going to the rim hard. Help from Ernie Duncan, a little too late, and he gets the and 1.
It's a guy in Akwasi Yeboah that's led his team in scoring 15 times this year, 18 in the win against Albany in the quarterfinals, and an outstanding free throw shooter.
And he has 5 of the 15. Stony Brook back to within 5.
Yeboah almost 80% at the line this season. Low scoring affair coming down the final 4.5 of this first half in the America East semifinal. Hartford and UMBC doing battle tonight in Baltimore in the other semi. The right to play for the title on Saturday. Everett Duncan rattles in.
And that's going to be a key for Vermont. Everett struggled in the quarterfinals from behind the arc. Did a really nice job on defense and rebounding, but for him to knock down a couple of triples is going to be so important.
McKenzie, the freshman point guard, finds some space on the block.
And that's the second time that play has worked. The little high screen, the shuffle cut, leading to a layup.
Bell Haynes skips out to Ernie Duncan, kicks to his brother, and the Cats will reset.
Good patience by Ernie right there not to force a three.
Earns himself a little bit of space, but Sturdivant tears away the rebound.
That's a good move by Ernie Duncan right there. But another player control foul against the Seawolves.
That one goes on Sturdivant, and it's 9 team fouls on the Seawolves. Catamounts with a 6-point lead. Everett Duncan connecting on his first three. Catamounts by 6. 3.5 to go in the first half of the America East semifinal. Vermont a 6-point lead on Stony Brook. Matchup of the 1 and the 5 seeds here on this Tuesday night. Alistair Ingram, Bernie Saplicki here with you. Everett Duncan coming off his first 3 of the night. And fouls have started to creep into Stony Brook's game here. 9 team fouls for the half, and a number of those at the offensive end.
Yes, and that just means you come up with empty offensive possessions, which sounds so obvious, but in a game that's so important like this, you want to take the opportunity to score anytime you can. And you have 3-4 offensive fouls. Those are chances off the board.
And the Catamounts are a +5 at the foul line. Another whistle on Jeff Bulls' Seawolves.
Well, but that foul on a reg boo right there. So now here's the question. Hand checks and all that kind of stuff that has happened for 16 minutes and 37 seconds. Now they're going to call that. And that is the frustrating part as Vermont now is 8 of 9 from the foul line compared to Stony Brook's 2 of 3. The lead is 7. And that's a big difference.
Yep. And you can see Jeff Bulls, he's trying to figure out where the consistency is right now.
Correct. And that's part of what you're trying to figure out. And those are good questions and questions you should have. But also, when you're the number 1 seed and you're at home, do you get those calls too?
Fouls are 10-4 in the first half.
And that could have been a foul on Peyton Henson reaching over right there.
Bell Haynes reaching in for a steal.
That was just really good defense.
Bounces to the baseline. Henson for 2.
Good defense leads to easy offense, which has been few and far between in this game. Trey Bell Haynes making the steal in the corner down in front of the Catamounts defense. Going coast to coast. Peyton Henson running the floor. Getting the finish. Cats up 10.
The senior tandem that combined for 42 in the quarterfinals. Bell Haynes' 3rd assist of the night. 10-point Catamount lead. Yeboah off angle, knocks it down.
It's a nice answer right there by Yeboah, quieting the crowd as you could feel the adrenaline and the emotion, ready to take control. But the Yeboah knocking down that mid-range jumper.
Yeboah originally from England. 6th leading scorer in the conference this year. Bell Haynes can't answer with a teardrop.
Yeah, the teardrop from the baseline, one he's hit so many times, contested well. Vermont limited to 1 shot after the good defense and block out by the Seawolves.
2 to go in the first half as Sturdivant skips it up top for McKenzie. Drives into the paint, leaning with the right.
Just a nice solid move by Jordan McKenzie right there. Not forcing the issue, taking a couple dribbles, seeing what he had, getting into the lane, finishing for 2. And just like that, a quick 4-0 run cuts the lead for the Catamounts to 6.
McKenzie, the rookie point guard from North Carolina. And a walk called on Trey Bell Haynes, his 2nd travel of the half. And the reigning back-to-back player of the year showing his frustration.
Yeah, uncharacteristic turnovers by Trey Bell Haynes right there. As he's walking off the floor, asking the official who's called both of them, what did I do? And the official saying you're shuffling your pivot foot. And if that is the case, then that is a travel. Now Stony Brook with the chance to slice into this lead even more. There was 27-17, really good patience and good execution offensively, a couple of stops, and they're hanging around.
And in the scheme of the game, a hugely important 90 seconds.
Oh, without question.
McKenzie draws contact before the shot. Now John Becker with some questions. Just the 5th team foul on UVM. with 1:23 to go in the half. Baseline inbound for the Seawolves.
I don't think they're talking about how they're going to manage the snowstorm that's coming right now.
I'm glad this game's on a Tuesday because Wednesday, Thursday is going to be messy. And McKenzie shuffled his feet on the baseline.
Right, he was supposed to stay established. He had his left pivot foot established, kind of slid towards the opposite corner. A call you don't see often, but a good call.
Yeah, a good spot by the officials.
Yes.
6-point game, ticking down to a minute to go in the semis. Vermont, the #1 seed, trying to get back to its 3rd consecutive title game. Cam Ward will back off here, 9 seconds to shoot for the 6th man of the year. Pick and pop with Henson, down it goes.
And one thing in watching Peyton Henson all year, his percentage from the three-point line goes up tremendously when he leaves his follow-through up. He stayed with that follow-through up, until that ball went through the bottom of the net, and that shot was pure.
Shooting almost 40% from long range. Now in his senior campaign after spending 2 years at Tulane. 9-point UVM lead. Yeboah pivots, can't hit. And now the Catamounts can hold for one. And this crowd trying to see its team increase the lead to double figures. Cats will expend a timeout with 24 seconds to go.
Very good defense once again from Vermont. And now again you can use this timeout to get yourself set. Is really their 0.7 differential between game and shot. Would love to have that momentum and build this lead to double figures going into the break. And if you're Stony Brook, hey, we've played a good first half. They've just made a couple of more shots. We have to continue to play really good defense. But again, there's the high screen and roll, the pick and pop. Peyton Henson, beautiful rotation, nothing but net. Again, and it's just so hard to defend that against these Vermont bigs, because not only Peyton Henson, Drew Urquhart, Anthony Lamb, Nate Rohrer, all those guys can pop out and step out and knock down that triple. And what are you going to do? Because you're going to let the Vermont guard go, or are you going to kind of help? And Stony Brook choose to help, and Peyton Henson made them pay.
And this UVM team in the quarterfinals, ice cold from 3, made some big ones in the second half, but certainly not forcing the 3 here today. They're 3 of 7, taking those threes in rhythm.
Against Maine, they had 6. They were 6 of 21. Trey Bell Haynes hit 3 in the first half, and Ernie Duncan hit 3 in the second half. And let's see what Vermont does here with 10 seconds to go.
Chance to make it a double-figure lead. Duncan picks up his dribble. Couple of pounds for Anthony Lamb. Up fakes with the right, can't get it to go, and time will run out on the first half in the American semifinals. Well-defended final possession for the 5-seed Seawolves, and UVM by 9 after 1.
Yeah, solid defensive segment. You get the ball to Anthony Lamb, the guy you want to shoot that ball. He gets it in the middle of the lane and doesn't get it to go.
So the Catamounts at halftime, 20 minutes away from a 3rd consecutive berth in the America East title game. We'll continue next from Burlington.
There's just something about Vermont. It's more than green mountains and maple syrup. It's about the people. It's what makes us strong. No other company has symbolized Vermont's strength and independence more than Vermont Mutual. The only place to purchase Vermont Mutual policies is through local independent insurance agents. Vermont Mutual is the oldest insurance company in our state and also one of the highest rated in the nation. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit Vermont Mutual online to find a local agent near you.
Hey, I lost my debit card. Do you guys do instant replacement? What just happened?
Check your wallet.
No. No way. Your debit card should arrive in 7 to 10 business days.
It's time to bank human again. Get debit cards on the spot and deposit checks right from your phone at TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
tough, powerful, versatile. It's a cat. Equipment you want, features you need, support you can trust. Now you can get a cat. Because for a limited time, Milton Cat is offering 0% financing for 60 months on most machines. Now you can at Milton Cat.
Food for thought.
It's more than a common phrase.
It's the intellectual nourishment that surrounds us at the University of Vermont.
Those ideas.
That atmosphere, those classes that get us up in the morning
and keep us up at night. Food for thought connects us to other hungry thinkers. Thinkers who will change your world. Like this one.
Or even this one.
All the food for thought in the world is on the menu at the University of Vermont.
Let's dig in.
We are the curious, the explorers, the innovators. Defiant in the face of the status quo, unbound by tradition, unlimited in our potential, relentless in the pursuit of tomorrow's big ideas. We are Stony Brook University. We go far beyond.
We're at halftime of the Americas semifinals, a berth in the title game on the line, and UVM, the 1 seed, leads 5 seed Stony Brook 30-21 after 20 minutes of play. Welcome back to Tom Brennan Court. Alistair Ingram and Bernie Saplicki here with you. Bernie, defense and rebounding win championships. That's certainly on full display in that first half.
Yeah, just defense, rebounding on display. Not for the faint of heart for either squad. Both teams battling, and right to the bitter end of that first half. It'll have to continue in the second half for the Catamounts to maintain this lead.
UVM's defense holding Stony Brook to 36% shooting in that first half. And really, Bernie, the biggest difference in the game right now, foul trouble for Stony Brook and UVM a +7 at the foul line.
Yeah, it's just Vermont getting to the foul line a little bit more, as every basket has been a challenged basket by both teams. Vermont going to the rim with Ernie Duncan, but Vermont also, like you mentioned, getting the foul line where they're 9 of 10.
And UVM not forcing as many threes as maybe they did on Saturday, knocking down threes in rhythm today.
In rhythm within the context of the offense, where they're 3 of 7, and they're able to just really take advantage of that. But the pressure defense and good defense leading to easy transition offense.
And I guess a big question that both head coaches have got to ask at halftime is, how's the game going to be officiated in the second half?
Well, and that's a great question, you know, because a lot was let go, then a couple of ticky-tack hand check calls were made, so we'll see what happens early on in the second half.
Here you see the rebounding numbers, 16-15, only 2 offensive rebounds for either team. It was mostly one and done in that first half.
It was really good defense, great blockouts, which is why we're at 30-21 right now. Both teams, as you mentioned, only 2 offensive rebounds apiece.
And also balanced scoring for both teams. You look at the leading scores for either side. It is Peyton Henson with 7 for UVM and Akwasi Abo with 7 for Stony Brook.
Yeah, just a lot of people scoring, a lot of different people getting it done. So we're going to see who steps up in the second half and punches their ticket to the championship game on Saturday.
Catamounts take a 9-point lead into the break. It's the American at the half here on Championship Week. Vermont and Stony Brook separated by 9 points. Winner moves on to the Americas title game for the men's side on Saturday. The Americas Women's Championship will be decided on Friday, 4 o'clock on ESPNU. For the first time in 7 years, the champion will not be the Albany Great Danes.
Yes, an unbelievable run coming to an end in dramatic fashion as they suffered a tough semifinal loss to Hartford.
And Maine, the #1 seed this year, will host the title game as they upend New Hampshire. Blanca Milan, one of the best offensive players in the conference. What? What? And there you see the final play of the Hartford game. Game in 4 years.
And just 2 big victories right there, winning against Binghamton in the first round in overtime, then beating Albany. But one more task, beating Maine at home to try to get that title, that elusive title that's been belonged to Albany for so long.
Welcome back to Burlington, America East semifinal. Vermont, the #1 seed, up on 5 seed Stony Brook, 30-21 at the break. Championship week. Alistair Ingram, Bernie Saplicki back here with you in the best time of year, Bernie, when several teams start to punch their tickets to the dance.
It is. There is nothing more exciting than championship week in terms of dreams coming true, dramatic victories and tough losses, and there'll be plenty more between now and Sunday.
You get the Horizon League, the CAA, and the NEC titles being contested tonight. And, of course, the big one in America East tonight, America East semifinal. Start time staggered, Hartford and UMBC. It is half number 2 of the America East semifinal. UVM holding a 9-point advantage on Stony Brook. Catamounts trying to get back to their 3rd consecutive America East title game. Alongside Bernie Saplicki, Alistair Ingram here with you. Very even first half for the most part, Bernie, in a lot of categories. Defense and rebounding at a high mark for both these programs. If it wasn't for free throws, we might be tied.
Yeah, free throws right now, you know, Vermont 9 of 10, while Stony Brook is 2 of 3. But the other one that kind of sticks out, Stony Brook had 7 turnovers, Vermont had 5. The points off of those turnovers, Vermont 9, Stony Brook 0. So that's just something to continue to monitor as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
A number of those turnovers as well were offensive fouls.
Right, and that's tough right there.
Alani rattles down to 3. He had to sit on the bench for a good portion of that first half in foul trouble.
Yes, he only played 5 minutes and hit 1 triple, and he hits another one right there. Stony Brook had 7 team members score in the first half. The Catamounts had 8.
Alani, the America East Rookie of the Year, averaging 12 points a game his last 3. Deflected pass from Yeboah. Saintel quickly the other way and draws some contact on the putback. And a nice start to the second half in the first 44 seconds for the 5 seed.
And right there, again, you talk about Stony Brook's tenacity and just never going away. They come out, they hit the 3, they get a steal, they get to the foul line, and all of a sudden we got ourselves a 5-point game. The Seawolves not going away.
Yeboah goes 2 for 2. He's the 8th best foul shooter in the league this year, nearly 80%, and a 4-point ball game here in the semifinal. Rematch of the 2015 America East semifinal in this venue, won by Stony Brook in a much more high-scoring affair, 79-77. Urquhart also in first half foul trouble, draws contact and took a hit up high.
Yeah, just a nice spin move by Urquhart on the block. I think on the way down, might have caught one. On the way up, caught one in the back of the head, in the face, in the nose. Just a nice spin move by Urquhart. Nothing intentional, just a lot of big bodies banging underneath.
That is the 3rd foul on Anthony Oshefu, as Urquhart knocks it down from the foul line. Catamounts 11 of 12 at the charity stripe here tonight. Retake a 6-point lead.
Right now, Stony Brook in the first 2 possessions, getting an easy 3-point look and then an opportunity at the basket. Vermont coming out sluggish defensively.
Backdoor cut, and Bell Haynes got his hands in the passing lane.
Yeah, just great recognition right there. So much for that sluggishness. Vermont responding. Good hands by Trey Bell Haynes. Ernie Duncan picking up that steal.
Active hands for Trey, just outside the top 10 in the conference in steals. Looking down low, wide open Urquhart.
High screen and roll right there. Stony Brook didn't drop down and rotate as they both went to Trey Bell Haynes. Finds Drew Urquhart on a personal 4-0 run. Vermont stretches that lead back to 8.
McKenzie tries to answer, skips it to Alani, baseline drive, double clutches, plus the foul.
Offense is starting to spread out and stretch out the defense. Shot fakes, getting by people, going to the rim as Everett Duncan picks up his 2nd. Again, the closeout not under control. Easy blow by. And now the chance for the natural 3-point play.
Well, Alani chomping at the bit at halftime, held to 5 minutes, and he has not been shy to shoot and attack the basket so far.
Well, and I think that was probably the message from Coach at halftime, just get after it. And right there, no block out on the free throw, and another opportunity for the Seawolves.
6-point game early in the second half of the American semifinal. Entry to the post is Saintel. Now Yeboah crossing over against Henson. Urquhart defending Sturdivant. A weak side help from Ernie Duncan. There'll be a double foul here behind the play. Alani and Everett Duncan. That one works out in UVM's favor. It's 3 on the Rookie of the Year.
And 3 on Everett Duncan. But from a standpoint in terms of the offense and stuff, I understand what you're saying. But I'm not a fan of that call. I know they kind of get mixed up in the back. Just, they broke right there. Just let it go. This game's too important. These players are too important. But I don't think I will be able to have the authority and or the power to overturn that. And the Catamounts will go to Cam Ward for Everett Duncan, who picked up 3 fouls in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Uncharacteristic for him.
And Alani stays in the game, so he'll have to be careful.
And if you're Vermont, you have to go right at him.
He's been instant offense so far in the second half. Elijah Alani. And Stony Brook going to a bit of a more conservative defense. Alani right now on Trey Bell Haynes. Midway through the shot clock as Cam Ward is trapped. Ward behind the back. Henson in rhythm.
And once again, Cam Ward dribble penetration finds, like Peyton Henson, as you mentioned, in step, leaves that foul, threw up nothing but nylon. Cats up 9.
Travel on the and it'll be the 10th turnover tonight on Stony Brook, and Peyton Henson the first player tonight into double figures.
And the efficiency to which Peyton Henson has done this from the field. He is 4 of 5, 2 of 2 from 3, all within the infrastructure of the offense.
Scored 21 Saturday in the quarters against Maine on 9 of 15 shooting. Bell Haynes again, backdoor feed to Urquhart, and he's fouled. Bell Haynes has not made a field goal tonight, but that would have been his 5th assist.
And again, just the way, if you watch Vermont and how they spread the offense out, this screen and roll, they're overloading one side, but here's the Cam Ward towards the end of the shot clock. Peyton Henson almost in 4-point range. That was deep, in rhythm. Gets that to go. Drew Urquhart back to the line.
Foul was on Tyrell Sturdivant, his second, team's 3rd, and Urquhart has now made his last 3 at the charity stripe. There's John Becker trying to get his squad to a 3rd consecutive title game. Last year, beating Albany in the final minutes. 2 years ago, losing in heartbreaking fashion at Stony Brook.
And it's something that none of these seniors have forgotten. And this senior class trying to get career win number 99.
Aggressive drive, Yeboah can't finish. Alani the offensive rebound. Kicks to the corner, junior Saintel off the back rim. Saintel has been very quiet offensively tonight. Bounce feed in transition, Urquhart fouled again. That could be the 4th on Alani.
Second chance opportunities, but that time right there, Vermont with really good blockouts. Trey Bell Haynes able to get the ball, go coast to coast. Drew Urquhart running the floor. Alani just, again, as a competitor, you're trying to deter that. That's a tough one right there.
And right back to the charity stripe for the Vancouver native, Drew Urquhart. Catamounts now 14 for 15 at the free throw line.
Just being aggressive, attacking, and right now taking advantage of those free throw opportunities. A very, very important couple of sequences here for Stony Brook. They've been able to come back when the lead has kind of elongated. Can they do it again? And yes, they can, as Jordan McKenzie with a pretty pull-up from 15.
Creating his own shot at the elbow. 6 in the game for the rookie point guard out of North Carolina. Bell Haynes attacking the basket at the other end, comes up short. Stony Brook has numbers if it hurries. Pull up, Irigbu. No good, but the putback, Junior Saintel.
Like we said, Stony Brook just never going to go away. Just keep fighting and fighting. Trey Bell Haynes, an uncharacteristic miss. Stony Brook in transition, the second chance. The lead down to 9.
At 13 was the largest lead of the night. Back under 10 though. Cam Ward will run the point, the America's 6th man of the year for the second time in his career. 10 seconds to shoot. Pulls back on Saintel, and Jeff Bowles very upset as his team just picked up team foul number 5.
Just a lot of stuff going on in transition. Stony Brook around the rim, getting that touch to go.
Vermont carried a 9-point lead into the second half. It's still a 9-point game here with 15 and change to go in the America East semifinal. And Bernie, foul trouble was a big issue for the Seawolves in the first half. 5 fouls in less than 5 minutes already in half number 2.
You know, it is playing into a factor. Maybe an offensive foul on Cam Ward there, but did the reach in lead into that? But my thing is 22 points in that first 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
And before the inbounds pass comes in, a second straight foul on Saintel.
And now Vermont gets to take the ball out of bounds underneath. That's this. Yep, and 20 on the shot clock, and now Vermont will take the ball out of bounds underneath.
So the Catamounts with more than 15 minutes to go, 1 away from the bonus, and Urquhart is fouled. There is your 7th team foul. It's on Irigbu. And the Catamounts all year long so good on baseline inbound plays.
Well, and just a great read right there as you see Drew Urquhart wide open, and he was wide open because both Stony Brook defenders went to Ernie Duncan in the corner. He slips the screen. Urquhart 7 of 8 from the foul line. He's got 9 points.
Soft touch for the senior big man. Double figure scoring now for Urquhart in 12 consecutive games. And a well-deserved nod to the America East All-Conference 2nd team.
And you just talk about a guy who steps in for Anthony Lamb, you know, who was out for the entire America East Conference minus the last main game, and just had a phenomenal senior campaign, but still wants to accomplish a little more.
Yeboah's got 9 tonight. Team high score for Stony Brook, 10 to shoot. McKenzie sheds a defender. It'll be an offensive foul. Bit of a late whistle, but the push-off against Ward. Jeff Bowles not a happy camper.
Let's see right here in the replay.
Pretty clear. I mean,
he does create some space.
There was a similar play at the other end.
And which way did the same player? But which did it? And Cam Ward wasn't called for the charge.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So and
that's why Jeff Bowles is
rightfully
frustrated. Henson too short. Karam's out to Cam Ward. Cats have a fresh shot clock.
And Vermont just needs to be patient now, as no real rhythm right now to this basketball game.
10-point ball game. Winner goes on to the America East title game. The Catamounts are the victors. Championship game will be right here at Patrick on Saturday morning. Bell Haynes drives. Caught under the basket, kicks for Urquhart. Saintel the rebound.
And the pick and pops, dribble penetration. The bigs for Vermont knocking down those triples. And Stony Brook needing a bucket.
Sturdivant to the bench, saves it into the hands of Ernie Duncan. Cats have numbers. Kick to the corner, Ward. And pulls it back. Allows the Catamounts to kill some seconds, but does allow Stony Brook to get back defensively. Urquhart in a mismatch with Irigbu. Cam Ward drives the lane. Pulls it back with 12 to shoot. Good patience offensively by UVM. Ward in NBA range. Dagger! Cam Ward, the America East 6th Man of the Year, coming up huge off the bench in this semifinal, knocking down a big-time 3 to put his team up 13.
Yes, just providing a jolt with that big triple, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds for the 2-time America East 6th Man of the Year, giving Vermont that 13-point lead. And this is tying their largest lead of the game, forcing Stony Brook to take a timeout, and we'll see how Stony Brook responds, because every time they've faced a little adversity, they've always found a way to claw back into it.
Jerron Cornish back in to run the point for Stony Brook, born in the Bahamas. Passes up top for Irigbu's 3, too short. Yeboah skying for the rebound. Foul's going to be on the floor against UVM and Nate Rohr.
Yeah, just a little too much push on the block out right there, wrapping around. Stony Brook with a great set coming out of that timeout. Getting that triple to just be off a little bit, but again, another second opportunity for the Seawolves.
Kick to Cornish, Rainmaker.
That's 3 for John Cornish.
And just a big shot by Cornish right there. The double team, Cam Ward went to double down. Inside out, the 3, splash.
Cornish just a 28% three-point shooter. That one nearly grazed the ceiling. Gets the lead back down to 10 as Urquhart attacks the basket, count it, plus the foul.
Drew Urquhart just having a second half, hampered by fouls in the first. He now has 12 points. Just, again, faking the dribble or the handoff, going hard to the rim, using his size and strength and letting everybody knows that he's a little stronger, gets the hoop and the harm.
And that was the second time the last couple possessions that in a switch, UC Irigbu is defending a guy that's 6'11", and he's only 6 feet. Yeah. It's not easy.
No, that's a tough mismatch for sure. And Urquhart 8 of 10 from the foul line, now 8 of 11 as the last few. The first few were nothing but net. Next 2 have hit the rim a little bit, and now the last 2 that he's missed have been short. So just has to reestablish himself at the free throw line if and when he gets back.
Urquhart has 12, and 12 is the UVM cushion. Yeboah goes one-on-one against Rohr, drives in against Urquhart, adjusts the angle and scores.
That's a nice move by Yeboah. He now has 11, just being patient, going up against both bigs of Vermont and finishing with the lead down to 10.
12 and a half to play in the semis. UVM the 1 seed, Stony Brook, by virtue of an upset over Albany, the 5 seed, getting here to Patrick Jim. Baby hook Urquhart, going to work down low. It's an Urquhart show right now.
Oh yeah, that's just great patience on the block as the crowd chants the normal Drew right there for the great finish around the rim.
12 consecutive games in double figures scoring for Urquhart. Cornish can't double his luck, and here's Bell Haynes.
Good blockouts right there by Vermont, so the guard can get in and finish.
Swing pass to Urquhart and can't finish. He missed the bunny. What a pass that was from TBH.
Beautiful look by Trey Bell Haynes. Great cut by Urquhart, but got to finish.
Secunda off the mark in transition. Would have been a big shot for Stony Brook. The lead stays at 12. Now it's Duncan. In rhythm, can't hit. Rebound to Trey Bell Haynes at the top of the key. Backdoor to Rohr, swatted away by Sturdivant. Frantic action here in the second half.
Phenomenal pace, phenomenal action. The ball just not going in.
Pull up long 2, comes up short from Secunda.
Great looks by both teams, great effort, great energy. This is conference tournament basketball to its finest.
And now Trey Bell Haynes will let the crowd take a breath. Midway through the shot clock for the Catamounts, leading by 12 points. The reigning America East champions. Bell Haynes on the handoff from Urquhart. Leans in against the double team. Bounces to Urquhart. Easy call for the officials as Sturdivant got caught in the air.
And he did the right thing. He fouled them and he grabbed them. No, nothing bad right there. Just a great move.
Well, it's been the Drew Urquhart show here in the second half. Getting to the basket, finishing when possible, and more importantly, getting to the free throw line at will.
Yes, Drew Urquhart, you know, in the first half, as we mentioned, foul trouble, only played 8 minutes, had 1 point in that first half, has 13 in the second half, 14 total, 5 rebounds in 17 minutes of play, going back to the line, 8 of 11 this evening for Drew, and just having a phenomenal game for the Catamounts here.
And with 11 minutes to go in the game, UVM is already in the double bonus.
And that's something to, you know, you got to get to the double bonus. You got to make these free throws. You've only given up 4 fouls. Urquhart now, I think, missed his last 3 in a row. He's 8 of 12 and got to capitalize.
UVM as a team still 16 of 20 as Anthony Lamb looks to check back in. Urquhart goes 1 for 2, and the Catamounts for their 3rd time tonight have a 13-point lead. Urquhart to the bench, and he gets a standing ovation and a round of Drews here in Burlington.
And Anthony Lamb into the game.
Had a nice spurt in the first half.
He had a solid first half, 4 points, a rebound, 6 minutes only. Just again, got to keep working him back in.
Off the foot of Cornish, officials made eye contact, made sure they were on the same page.
Yeah, just right there trying to turn the corner. Dribbled it off his foot. Turnover. Stony Brook's 13th. Vermont with a 19-2 advantage in the points off turnovers.
And a plus 13 at the free throw line. 13-point game. Smith enters the post to Lamb, facing up on Petrus, and too short. Here's Cornish in transition. Hands off to Brian Secunda, dangerous three-point shooter, can't find the mark today. And it's out of bounds off Alani, playing with 4 fouls.
Man, that was a dangerous play right there. I love the fact that he's crashing the board, but avoiding going over the back, which potentially could have been his 5th foul. But with 10 minutes to go and down 13, you got to leave it out there.
Cam Ward is tripped. And that, in many ways, Bernie, has been the story of this game. Stony Brook with some ill-advised fouls and just giving the Catamounts free and easy points.
Vermont 17 of 21, Stony Brook 4 of 6 from the foul line. So that makes all the difference in the world. There's now Vermont 18 of 22. The difference is 14. Difference on the scoreboard, 14. It's amazing how simple this game can be. Cam Ward, now the 3rd Catamount in double figures. He has 10.
Also a milestone in the quarters for Cam, 138th career game played.
That's a lot of basketball.
The all-time leader now in Catamount history.
Yeah.
Saintel weaving through the lane. Petrus grabs a loose ball against Lamb. Lamb deflects it away from the big Slovakian. Everett Duncan to the floor. Held ball. And a scrum here. Petrus and Duncan having to be separated. Arrow favors UVM. A lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle. And both head coaches out on the floor to trying to settle things down. Petrus is a big boy, 6'11", 260.
Well, watch the guy from Stony Brook come in. Number 1 right there. You see that? That was the only thing I didn't like about that whole play. I think guys are getting after it. They're just not giving up the ball. That's the only thing I don't look.
Watch number one red.
So a 15-point game. Everett Duncan to the ground first, and Petrus comes in from the weak side. Again, the whistle goes. And at that point, players ideally should let go of the basketball, but sometimes not the case. And the officials will go to the monitor here with 9:26 to go in the second half, and the Catamounts leading 52-37.
I have no problem with all that play. Just a little extracurricular towards the end, coming out of nowhere. Just, no one wants to give up the ball. I got no problem with that. Come in throwing a shoulder on Anthony Lamb, who's not even involved in the play.
Right. Now, there's a couple guys that come in late. Cam Ward is trying to rip Petrus off. Good luck. He's 6'11", 260. But then Iribu comes in and kind of makes more contact on Lamb. So we'll see what the officials decide here.
Two wrongs aren't making a right in this situation.
Again, the arrow does favor Vermont. So
so it should be Vermont ball. No doubt it's a jump ball.
But will there be free throws in a 15-point game? Two teams that have met quite frequently here in the postseason tonight. The 6th all-time playoff matchup between the two schools. Stony Brook 3-2 against UVM in the postseason. We get an explanation right now from the officials on the call.
Vermont ball. Okay. Great. All right. Thank you.
Bernie, fill us in.
Okay, so from the point of interruption, you had Cam Ward, as you mentioned, come in and try to get the big fella off, and that's a no-no. So he'll get a foul for that. And then you see
Eric Booth.
Eric Booth, thank you. Sorry. He also came in and made contact with Anthony Lamb, so he's going to get a foul on that. They'll just go from the point of interruption, and it'll be Vermont ball.
Technical foul on number 14, Cam Ward of Vermont.
So offsetting fouls in effect.
Yep, absolutely. Guys that aren't involved in the play but decide to get involved. Absolutely. Well done.
Yep. So the official explanation is you got two guys in Ward and Eric Boo who aren't involved in the tie-up, but then choose to engage.
Yep.
And therefore they both get fouls.
Yep. And like we said, two wrongs don't make a right, and they got the two wrongs. And they did a good job, I think, keeping this game under control as the tempers and the emotions are getting higher and higher.
Matchup of the two previous America East champions. Offensive foul on the Catamounts.
Now.
Push on Petrus.
Yes.
That'll be the fourth.
That'll send Anthony Lamb to the line as the Catamounts, as you mentioned, in the double bonus, I think about 2 hours ago here in this half.
These would be the 24th and 25th foul shots of the game for UVM. By comparison, Stony Brook 4 of 6.
For the Catamounts, it's number 20, Ernie Duncan returning.
And right now you can just tell, maybe Anthony Lamb just pushing a little too hard, just trying too hard if there is such a thing, because just trying to get back into the flow, had a solid first half, and uncharacteristically misses both of them.
That keeps it a 15-point game as Drew Urquhart makes his way to the scorer's table. 9 to play in the America East semifinal. And now Lamb called for a foul at the other end, defending on Petrus. Just the team's 6th.
Vermont foul, number 3, Anthony Lamb, his second personal 6th team foul.
And again, if you're Stony Brook, now you just have to chip away one possession at a time. You've been doing a pretty good job defensively. You just got to keep Vermont off the foul line, execute your offense, knock in a couple of shots, and you can get right back into this thing. Plenty of time.
And Kwasi Yeboah, their leading scorer, not on the court right now. So it's going to have to be someone else.
Yeah, I think you got to go inside, just a big size advantage.
Petrus lowered the shoulder. Urquhart defending, and he grabs the rebound. Number 6 on the night for Drew, along with 15 points to lead all scorers.
And that's a nice move by Petrus right there. He scored on that earlier in the first half and just didn't get it to go.
Ward with the handoff. Duncan rises and can't hit.
Ernie Duncan, a good in rhythm. 3 off the dribble handoff. A shot he's made time and time again. Just a little flat right there.
Go to Petrus again. Yeboah coming to the scorer's table. Petrus to the baseline. Way too strong.
And once again, only 1 and out for Stony Brook, as on the weak side, Peyton Henson doing a nice job holding his block out and corralling that rebound.
And that is 5 on Jacob Petrus. Trying to hedge the screen, too much contact, and his night is done.
Too big, too strong, right there.
Big night for the big man from Vancouver. Drew Urquhart getting it done tonight at the foul line from the floor. Part of that fabulous senior class for the Catamounts. He's got 15, and that is UVM's lead.
Yeah, 15 and 5, and just doing a lot of his work in the second half, showing great footwork and patience as he finishes around the rim. An unbelievable senior campaign for Drew Urquhart, who just stepped in for Anthony Lamb when he got injured without missing a beat, making his way all the way to the second team All-League.
Ernie Duncan, over 85% at the charity stripe this season, 16-point game. And Stony Brook coming unraveled a bit here because of the foul trouble. Jacob Petrus, a couple of silly ones at the defensive end to foul out, and he was heated before that media timeout.
And, again, just, sometimes you get punished for being too big and too strong. And you hedge on the screen and somebody runs into you and they bounce off you because you're built like a mountain. Is that your fault? But that was his 5th foul.
Urquhart ripped away the rebound but lost it. Alani finishes.
Stony Brook opportunistic on the turnover. Alani getting that. Stony Brook in a sense of urgency now, having to pick up and fouling. Sending Vermont to the foul line again for the 28th and 29th time.
Yeah, they picked up their pressure. Cam Ward trying to split the double team, and way too much contact from McKenzie. His 3rd, and Cam Ward knocks down the first. One of 3 Catamounts in double figures tonight.
And the 19th free throw attempt of the half for Vermont right now.
All 3 players in double figures for UVM are seniors. Speaking of seniors, it's Trey Bell Haynes back in. Head coach John Becker, the Americas co-coach of the year. One of only 4 head coaches in conference history to be named coach of the year 3 times. 3 ball way off the mark from Alani. And now the Catamounts can take their time. The clock is their best friend.
And time and score, as you just mentioned. Just want to be patient. Stony Brook changing it up. Going to go 2-3, probably trap on the wings and the corners if the opportunity presents himself.
Duncan too strong. And McKenzie comes across midcourt. The baseline, it's Saintel. 6:45 to play. That's all that separates UVM from a 3rd trip in a row to the Americas Championship game. They'd host it right here at Patrick Gym. McKenzie pops a 3. It's off to the left.
And a great block out by Everett Duncan as Junior Santel just tried to run him over, and he'll go to the line. Watch it right here. Everett Duncan goes and meets. Just leaning on him. Maybe a little bit of an Academy Award because he lost his balance. But Vermont back to the foul line.
First trip to the line tonight for Everett Duncan, and this will put the Catamounts over 30 free throw attempts on the night.
And a quiet night once again, rebounding-wise for Everett Duncan. He has 5 defensive rebounds. If you look back to the main game, he had 9 rebounds. A little overshadowed because of Drew Urquhart, but just doing a lot of the dirty work here tonight as he knocks down both of those. He has 5 and 5.
And the lead for UVM up near 20. Alani playing with 4 fouls. Foul trouble has been one of the major storylines here in tonight's semifinal. The free throw disparity as a result. Alani reverse layup, fancy finish.
That's just a beautiful move right there by Olani. Just a poor closeout once again on the reversal to the wing. His athleticism and skill allows him to explode past the Catamounts defender and finish at the rim.
Bell Haynes able to break the press by himself. Clock under 6 to go in the game, 17-point lead for the 1 seed.
And he can get the ball at the high post right here, and that'll allow a wide open 3.
Right into the teeth of the zone. Urquhart rattles off, and Saintel rips it away from Henson.
Good hands by Santel to take that away from Henson.
Yeboah sheds Henson, can't bank it in. Offensive board, Saintel loses control. Will it stay with the Seawolves?
It should not.
It will not. And a frustrating night continues for Junior Saintel and the 5-seed Seawolves.
Yeah, but once again, the energy and the effort is not wavering.
Ernie Duncan able to set his feet across midcourt. Catamounts bleed more clock. The other semifinal right now, UMBC and Hartford doing battle. The Retrievers lead that one by 14 points early in the second half. Everett Duncan can't connect.
And just passing it around the perimeter, Everett having to dial it up from deep because of the shot clock winding down, didn't get it to go.
Alani off balance, way off the mark. Saintel the board. Kick out for Sturdivant, not his shot, doesn't go down. And Saintel leaning over the back of Trey Bell Haynes, who kept him afloat. That was almost a figure skating move we saw in the Olympics. Once again, foul on Stony Brook.
Right, and you know, a good block out, but is Trey Bell Haynes wrapping. You see how he's got his left hand hook on his hamstring. That was way before.
Got to say, though, that's pretty impressive.
Yes,
Sturdivant's a big cat.
Yes.
6'8", 220.
And just to be able to keep his balance and thankfully nobody falling awkwardly or hard right there. And Vermont back to the foul line.
So UVM 5 minutes away from hosting the title game for the second straight year. Last year it was the Albany Great Danes. In a tight defensive ball game, will it be UMBC or Hartford in the title game? And will it be here or at the home of the Retrievers or the Hawks? Stony Brook has a tall mountain to climb here in the final 440.
Yeah, just again, Stony Brook scored 11 points in the first 4 minutes and 38 seconds, and since then they've scored 9. So, and just really good defense by Vermont. The shots that were falling in the first half for Stony Brook are not, and Jordan McKenzie gets to the line.
1-1 for the rookie guard. 10 of 13 at the free throw line now this season. Out of Concord, North Carolina. Only played 1 minute in the first meeting, but has seen his minutes increase of late down the stretch. 5 consecutive 20-plus minute games. Can't connect on the second. It's out off a gold jersey. It'll stay with Stony Brook. 17-point ball game.
And that's the second time off a free throw that Vermont has not been able to corral the miss and get it. And right now Stony Brook needs to score on every possession to try to chip away at this 17-point margin.
McKenzie floater goes down.
Gets it to go. Stony Brook wants to pick up. Lead down to 15. Time and score. Vermont wants to milk the shot clock, but got to be a little aggressive. You want to attack. Obviously, you got the opportunity to shoot 2, but you want to get to the hoop and finish.
Catamounts with their standard starting 5 in the game. The absence of Anthony Lamb. Kick for Henson, wide open. Bingo!
As true can be, the high screen and roll, the 2 seniors that both had 21 the other night. Gets the draw kick. Peyton Henson knocks down a triple. Catamounts up 18 and in total control.
McKenzie, the quick answer. He's into double figures. Timeout Stony Brook.
Just attacking off the high screen and roll again, getting to the hoop and finishing. No quit in the Seawolves, but there again, the 2 seniors getting that triple. Peyton Henson leaving that follow through up, knocking it down.
Coming down the stretch here in the Americas men's semifinal, the women's title game will be contested this Friday, 4 o'clock on ESPNU. It'll be the Maine Black Bears, the 1 seed, and the 6 seed Hartford Hawks in Bangor.
Yeah, a game and matchup that was hotly contested earlier in the season with Maine only beating Hartford by 3. We'll see if the Hawks can respond and take the title and get to the NCAA tournament on Friday afternoon.
And again, Albany's 6-year run as women's champions will come to a close this year.
What an impressive streak. Just you know, when you sit back and think about what they were able to accomplish is just amazing. But right now, Catamounts trying to get back to the title game again. Time and score, got to be patient, got to take care of the ball and finish.
UVM trying to win back-to-back Americas titles. 3.5 minutes away from having a chance to do that here on Saturday at Tom Brennan Court. Duncan off a pick, deflected by McKenzie. Leaner, too short. Urquhart, the putback. They wave it off. Shot clock violation.
That's a good call right there by the official. Good recognition, seeing that as Ernie Duncan trying to turn something into nothing and didn't get that to go.
Just the 7th turnover the entire game on UVM.
Yeah, really did a nice job of taking care of the basketball. As at halftime, Vermont had 5 turnovers and just found another level of comfort in the offense.
Yeboah triggers a 3, too strong. Bell Haynes rising for the rebound and fouled.
But just Trey Bell Haynes, so athletic, going up to get that rebound. You know, he's 5s across the board for Trey. 5 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, a couple of steals. Hasn't really had to score, but done a really nice job facilitating from the offense, as every point he has, now 6, all from the foul line.
6 for 7 at the charity stripe tonight. In his last 9 games, he has gone 52 for 59 at the stripe. Comes up short on number 2, 17-point ball game, under 3 to play here in the semifinal.
Vermont back in a little bit of zone, changing it up, forcing deep contested 3s. That one didn't go down, doing a nice job of blocking out and limiting Stony Brook again to 1 free throw. Now just get to be patient. An inch even closer to another shot at the title.
Everett Duncan drives it into Drew Urquhart, spins baseline. Almost got it back for the 3-point play, and he'll shoot more free throws. Another foul on the Seawolves. And for Stony Brook, Bernie, we talked about it before the game. Rebounding, toughness, that was the way they were going to win this game, but their strength is not dynamic scoring. Aside from Yeboah, they really don't have that guy that can, like a Jairus Lyles, bring you back into a game single-handedly.
Yeah, they have 3 guys in double figures, you know, today, and good balance. But just from behind the arc have really struggled. 3 of 19, and gotten good looks. They just haven't gone down. And, you know, when the ball doesn't go in, the game can get challenging and difficult, especially when the other team gets to the free throw line so much. Now Vermont has taken their 36th free throw attempt compared to Stony Brook's 8. That's a big swing. That's a huge difference. 37 to 8. Vermont up 19 in the senior class. 1 moving closer to career win number 99.
Alani is sandwiched between Bell Haynes and Everett Duncan. And in terms of made free throws, 37 to 8 free throw attempts, 29 to 5 in made free throws. That is a difference of 24 points.
And, you know, but again, you have to credit Stony Brook. Alani getting to the line, getting that free throw to go. He has 13. Stony Brook never stopped battling, never stopped playing hard. And a team that has a really, really good core group of young players, and for them to taste this atmosphere and understand what it's like to play against the championship team is going to bode well for them down the line.
Now you start to look at what Stony Brook will lose going to next season. A lot of their size. Sturdivant, Saintel, both 6'8". You lose Petrus, who's 6'11". So a lot of what makes this team tough to attack defensively is going to graduate as Henson leans in for two. Yeboah in transition. Leans into Cam Ward, blocking foul. 1:34 to play.
Yes, and Vermont again down to the shot clock, winding down, not getting a great shot. Stony Brook getting out in transition. Cam Ward picking up his third. Yeboah getting to the line.
That's 9 team fouls on UVM. Yeboah, originally from Chigwell, England, knocks down the first. Played for England's U20 team at the FIBA European Championships last summer. Scored 14 a game and won bronze.
And again, Vermont can't get careless. Stony Brook's not going to stop playing. You got to take care of the basketball, and you want to finish the game on a good note, as Stony Brook is not going to stop playing.
So the only question now for UVM in about a half hour or so, when they find out who they'll host on Saturday at 11 a.m. on ESPN2 for the conference title. Fancy crossover, Cam Ward, backdoor to Urquhart, lays it in, and there is the dagger.
Yeah, the seniors connecting once again. Drew Urquhart with 19, Cam Ward having a tremendous game, the sixth man of the year, the dribble penetration and the lob. Great finish, great execution. Once again, the seniors leading the way for Vermont, 1 minute away from taking care of business.
And it'll be win number 99 for the class of 2018, winningest class in Catamount history. They'll have a chance at 100 here on Saturday in the title game.
What a tremendous accomplishment that would be for them to be able to pull that off.
We were talking before the game that UVM was looking to put together a full 40 minutes, which they really haven't done at home in quite some time. Not to say this is a total 40, but
this was a different type of 40. It was more of a slugfest, a grind, and they were able to do that.
And composure, making Stony Brook be the team that makes the mistakes that in the end are going to cost them this game. And Everett Duncan cashes in.
Yeah, Everett Duncan hitting that big triple right there. He's got 8 points, 7 rebounds, another unsung performance that he will, just kind of go about doing his business, and Vermont can run the clock out and get ready for Saturday at 11 a.m.
For the second straight year, Tom Brennan Court will play host to the America East title game.
Win number 27 for this Catamount team. Just an unbelievable run these last 2 years for what this squad has done.
99 wins for the class of 2018, and a convincing victory in the semifinals for the reigning champs, 70-51, your final.
Yeah, just taking care of business, that's what they did, and the seniors lead the way. Cam Ward finding Drew Urquhart, Catamounts up by 19 and on to the championship.
Only question is, who will the Catamounts face? Will it be Hartford or UMBC? Either way, it's here at Patrick on Saturday at 11. For Bernie Saplicki, Alistair Ingram saying so long.